Right.
Oh, they got to use the word saving.
Right. So they switched the word on you there.
But they're still messing with your money.
Right.
It's still getting invested. Whether if you're at a like a job, like a corporate job or whatever, they're doing that for you on their end.
But basically, when these corporations got in trouble, they just stole the pension plans.
What's that?
And used it to save the company instead of taking care of the people that worked for them for 40 years.
Which I think is definitely illegal.
Tell GE.
I mean, they signed an agreement, though. I'm sure.
I don't know what they signed.
I would sue. I would totally.
They are suing.
I'd get everybody. I mean, because this has been a long time since that happened, too.
2015.
Oh, really? Was it 2015?
No.
That sucks. So if you would have retired at 2014, you would have got the money?
No,
They
people
just stopped.
were getting their defined benefit plan, and then GE cut it. Instead of paying them $5,000 a month, they were starting to get $1,200. They cut the benefit to save the company.
They were giving them a set amount.
Mm-hmm.
Like they agreed on that. Like, hey, you've worked here 40 years, you get $5,000 a month.
Right.
I don't know.
But if GE's not selling any more refrigerators or stoves, or
They're not.
like they're not selling them like they used to,
More competition.
because
But you also have to think about it as a person that worked for that company. Like that company could go out of business.
yep.
So
Absolutely.
that money really isn't guaranteed. Is it
That's
their
right.
money though?
It's their money. Yeah.
Like they put that money in, or GE put that money in?
GE put that money in.
See, that's where I would not have relied on that money. Because I know that companies go out of business all the time.
Right.
Like there could be that slight chance that, you know what I'm saying?
But that was the American dream, that good retirement. That was the benefit to working there. Like, hey, when I know I'm old and washed up, at least I'm going to get taken care of.
But why would you expect? That's what I'm saying. That's the argument. You can't expect other people to take care of you. You have to take care of yourself.
Which is a conservative value, right?
Yeah, I believe that. Because no one's going to really look out for you. They're going to be looking out for their best interest. Not saying that's a conservative thing, but I'm just saying, like, I would never rely on my company or a company that I work for to take care of me later in the future. Because they're going to look out for what's best for them. They really don't care.
So, like...
That's wild. I do remember reading about that, and I remember reading about the guy who's in charge of like gathering everybody to do the lawsuit.
Yep.
I feel like I watched that. But it's not his money, right? It was not his money. It was the company contributing. Like if it was his money, that's different. Like if he put his money in and they're not giving it back,
Right.
like that's stealing for sure. But if the company said, because you worked for me for so long, you know, you get your $2,000 that you contributed a month over the course of 40 years, but we're going to match it and give you another $2,000 or $3,000 or whatever, then they should be giving you your money that you put in, because that's stealing.
And see, then a couple of the airlines also went bankrupt and got rid of their pension plans as well during bankruptcy.
Yeah, like moving forward, employees aren't getting that.
Yeah, so that's why they've all switched to defined contribution plans, where you're only guaranteed
The money you put in.
the money that's in your individual investment account.
But the money you put in, they're still gambling with it, right?
Oh yeah, it's still in mutual funds. 80% of mutual funds.
So it's only the
Lose
money
money.
that you make off of the mutual funds that you're getting back.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's right.
No. Because
So you see,
I'm conflicted.
so you see why people would say that's gambling,
For sure, it is.
right?
Why would they contribute at all?
They wouldn't. That's why there's very little money in 401ks.
That's why. Okay, so It's all kind of clicking now. So that's why everybody lost their 401k when everybody retired, or during that crash or whatever.
So all these people were supposed to retire in 2007 and 2008, 2009.
And then the market crashed and there was no money.
Right, and they couldn't retire.
Because they lost all of it because the mutual funds went to crap.
That's right. 80% of the market crashed.
I cannot.
Lost 80% of its value
Can
in 2008.
You imagine?
And it took to 2016, 2017 before it even came back to where it was at.
It's like...
And that was only because of printing money.
It's like, hey, old man.
It's not like our economy got those jobs back.
That's crazy. It's like,
those
hey,
jobs went
you thought you were
else.
going to retire at this person probably 65, 70, thought you were going to retire. You stayed a few more extra years, but now you got to stay 7 more because you don't got any money. Like, how? That's why there was no jobs available. All those people were staying there.
That too. So people weren't retiring.
That's crazy. Whatever. It is what it is.
My grandpa never retired. He worked to the day he died.
He sure did.
Right? So...
I don't think he was ever going to retire. Like, he would have probably been 90 still working.
Yeah.
I really think.
Some people are born to work. You know, that's what they love and enjoy doing. So it's all they
I don't know. I
do.
can't speak for him. He looked happy to me. He never complained.
Nope.
Some of y'all out there just be complaining all the time, and I'm like, then leave. What's that song? Then leave. Then leave.
I don't know.
It's on TikTok, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, obviously, see how much I'm on there.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's
So you can see how this American dream is unfolding, unraveling.
And becoming different dreams for people.
Just based on a defined contribution plan and people losing their pensions.
I said, not even to mention student loans. Our whole generation, or people who went to school during that time frame or whatever, their whole lives are on hold, basically, because they're in debt to a college that didn't even set them up with the right tools to get a great job.
So every television show in the 90s.
Yeah, we talked about this too. Push for college.
Push for college.
You're nothing.
Everybody that grew up in the 90s, that watched cartoons, that watched TV
Even the
shows,
2000s.
that listened to the radio, all of it pushed college. You're successful because of college. College makes you successful.
Yeah.
And then they made it where you can get federal student loans at a very cheap interest rate. And guess what? The federal government's going to pay your interest until you graduate. So you don't have to make payments while you're in school. Now all of a sudden you got $1 trillion problem where people can't pay back their student loans because the jobs that they were training for no longer exist. Because they went where? Other countries. Where they can do those jobs cheaper.
Yep.
Right?
The student loans.
That's
it right
my number
there.
one personal finance advice is to never take a student loan ever. Period. It is literally the worst kind of debt that you can possibly have. You cannot go bankrupt on it.
Unless they change it, but Biden don't seem to be doing that. Y'all better get your president.
He ran on canceling student loan debt.
And here we are still in July and it's not canceled.
We'll give him his full...
He's got 3.5 more years.
We'll give him at least 2 years.
He got
to the
3.5.
midterm elections.
He got 3.5 years. And if he doesn't deliver, I really don't think that people are going to be happy with that. People will be switching sides all over real quick. But I was really hopeful.
So what can you do in personal finance to increase yourself to a better outcome?
Stay knowledgeable of personal financing trends.
So,
is that not a good one?
when we first stay knowledgeable of financial trends,
to me. Yeah. Stay knowledgeable of what your finances are. Like what the techniques are for finance and what works best for you. Like read books and stuff. Like keep staying knowledgeable.
So gain knowledge.
Gain knowledge.
Right. And keep up to date with the changing of finances.
Financial trends.
New financial equipment.
Trends is the word, yeah.
Equipment, I guess is what you would call it. Equipment.
Yeah. Go ahead. You were going to say a story.
So, when we first moved to Morehead City, I was unemployed, and I walked to the beach shops and got a job. At that job, I was making $7.50 an hour with 2 master's degrees.
And a pending one. Oh,
well,
wait.
2 degrees and an pending master's degree, right? And I was working up to 3 jobs at one point. But every time I got promoted, I continued to live the same way as if I was still making $7.50 an hour.
Right.
And I took the money difference and I invested.
Recently.
The number one thing I invested in was a side business. Right? Ensorsale.com. So every year I invest a certain amount of money into that business.
To help it grow.
To help it grow. Because I wanted to change my equation from an hourly wage equation to what they're called a product equation. You make a certain amount of money off a product, you sell 1 million products, you're a millionaire.
Yeah.
Right? You make $1 off the product, you sell 1 million of them, you're a millionaire.
That would be cool.
Right? It's different than how many hours would I have to work at $100 an hour to be a millionaire.
Right.
Because
we started switching things up because we noticed that. And
I can sell a lot more products than I can work the number of hours. It's a different equation.
Right. And the equation we were on before wasn't working. It wasn't getting us to where we wanted to be. Where we're both working all these jobs and not having time for each other and still not having enough money.
Right. So I switched from a hourly wage equation to trying to do a product equation.
Oh yeah, we did say that, yeah.
Right? So, I went to medical school, and even being a doctor still has an hourly wage equation to it. And I realized that being underwater in student loan debt for so many years and trading your time for so many years, may not have been worth it to still be under the same hourly wage equation. Right?
Yeah.
So, I came up with Ensorsale.com to try to change that. And, I try to create clothes that have meaning, because of that. So, if you want to wear clothes with meaning, go to Ensorsale.com and pick you up something. Use code FitFutureMD. You'll get 20% off.
20?
Yep, FitFutureMD is 20%
You giving
off.
away stuff for free.
No, I'm not.
Y'all better jump on this deal. Shoot. Because if I had control over it, it wouldn't be 20, it'd be like 10. He's the nice one.
Yeah, I am the nice one. But
I'm nice too. But 20%.
so that's the first thing in personal finance is to change your equation.